All right, Monday, May 21st. Let's go over today. There were a couple good opportunities, but that was about it. Just a couple opportunities. And I capitalized on one very, very small, sniper like, precise entry that wasn't the best trade, but there were more opportunities today. Volume was a little bit scattered out at first, and then it all went to ADOM and SENS after that. But I want to look at a couple stocks because the watch list was actually a pretty good size watch list. We had a decent amount of news as well. There were some good catalysts, and it's interesting that certain stocks got the volume when their catalysts were very interesting. For instance, one stock today, ATXI, let's look at the news right here. This morning, they came out with news that says their drug, tramadol, however you say it, met the primary, secondary endpoints. That was this morning. And then they also announced positive top line phase 3 data for that drug as well. Now, phase 3 is the last phase on pharmaceutical trials. So, yeah, if you ask me, that's pretty good news. And what happened? The stock dropped at the start. It didn't even gap up much in pre-market either. So it just dropped right at the start. Shorts completely took that over. Some other stocks on the watch list. uh, yeah, MBRV, complete dump, panic at the start. Wow. Always remember to cut your losses very, 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 very quickly because I know in my experience, sometimes if I let pride take over, I'll just hold and say, oh, it'll eventually come back up, or I'll average down and eventually, I won't lose as much. I'll wait for a bounce. Well, look at MBRV. Did it really have a bounce? No. I mean, it's consolidating a little bit over 460, but no bounce. Just panic selling. So there's a lot of selling pressure that we saw in the market today, not only on ATXI and NBRV, but I was watching BOXL as well. This is the one I took a little scalp on, only 200 shares. Um, Now, this one actually had news as well, which was pretty good. A catalyst that said Boxlight announces exclusive partnership with Multitouch Interactive. So, exclusive partnership usually brings in a lot of volume. And on a stock like BOXL, which if we look at its daily chart, even the last week, I mean, this stock has gone from $4 to $17.40. So, this is one that I had on my watch list despite news coming out. And it still had news coming out and had a volume like it did today. Well, volume didn't really come in on it. The good thing is I sold nearly at the perfect point. It was forming a red to green move. If we look at BOXL, 875 became support. We see it touching that once, twice, and 3 times. And if you notice this red candle right here, you always want to look and find a lower shadow like that. The bottom wick just getting eaten up with buyers, because that signals that there's a trend reversal coming in and more buyers and sellers are coming through. So it was really an easy scalp. I got in a little late, but I waited for the break of the VWAP, this purple line right here. Yeah, I got in after that, and then I sold at the pre-market highs. I knew pre-market highs are always going to be a level of resistance. I didn't know for sure if it was going to break that area or not. And if I had more share size, normally what I would do is scale out at that area, um, and then with the rest of my shares, allow them to ride out. And if the stock actually does come back down to my entry point, I sell the rest. So I'm green no matter what. But if we look at my monitor and positions, I bought at 919 and sold at 946. So 950 is a natural level of resistance because it's a whole number. People place sell and buy orders a lot more at whole number areas because it's easier to type 950 versus 950, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. So 950 was a level of resistance, and also pre-market highs were right there around 950. So that was a little scalp. It was okay, nothing I was excited about. And then ADOM was getting all the hype. ADOM, all the attention was on that. But this was a 38 million in float stock, and this is a um, real high float. I usually do not trade stocks that are this high in float. I normally stick to 5 million or less, uh, just because they move a lot quicker, And with news like exclusive partnership on BOXL, and with a little bit of volume coming in, we can have a massive rip. So that's usually what I like to stick to. ADOM had some news as well, but it was such a large float, I knew it was going to have to take all the attention to really push it on up. And it moved a lot more than I really suspected it would, from 140 all the way up to about $2 to 60 cents on a lot of volume today. Let's look at the daily volume. 36 million shares of volume today. Goodness gracious. So it almost rotated its whole float. I mean, it's very close. 38 million float and almost traded that many today. So very interesting. Well, ADOM was taken off, and then randomly SNES just pops up out of nowhere. And someone in the chat had said that another chat room got this one going, and so that was confirmed through Twitter, the source that was getting this SENS move going. And the news on this was just not very good. It really wasn't. There was a catalyst. It was the Department of Pesticide Regulation has proposed to register Syntex Contrapest for sale and use in California. So it's not even it's not even a contract, right? It's a proposition. It's just a proposal, and it's getting this large of a move. I bet the company's all like, "What is going on?" They're probably celebrating like crazy right now. So it was. I mean, this stock, man. Well, at least volumes in the market. That's the good thing to note. I mean, I don't feel bad for missing this because of that news, but I was hoping this would be a play tomorrow to get to the 200-day. So the good thing on this was, okay, we have volume, and look at the daily volume. I mean, you can't even see the volume throughout the rest of the year just because of today. And the RSI is through the roof on this. It's so overbought. I knew it was probably going to hit that 200-day, whether it did it today or tomorrow, just because of the volume that came in. The 200 is right here around 119. So it touches that, and then it's going to have a pullback probably the rest of the day today. And I was hoping that would happen tomorrow, because today it just broke through the 50-day and 13 EMA for the first time, and as far as I can see, in the last 6 months. So the pattern, the chart technicals were actually pretty good. The chart's not bad at all. It's really perfect. The catalyst, decent. But the good thing is from this, we know that there's volume in the market from seeing this. So tomorrow, we'll just have to be a little bit more patient. That was probably my problem today. I got in a little too early, not waiting to see, okay, where's all the volume going. And that's my issue. I have one trade a day since I'm on a cash account and under the PDT rule. So it's an issue I have, just trying to get in as early as I can to make the most that I'm able to, and sometimes not waiting to see where all the volume is going to go on a stock, because it was on SENES would have been a perfect play for my account, really, to grow it. The thing is because the volume was there, I could have even waited, see, for this bull flag right here and the break up from 75 cents. There's so much profit potential in this play. So it's a good lesson to learn, to wait and see where the volume is going to head to instead of trying to predict it. Just react to where it's going. So that's what I'm probably going to call this lesson. Don't predict, just react.